At the beginning of this year, I did a TikTok live. Y'all didn't know. I still barely know how to use TikTok. I thought I saved the live. I can't find the live anywhere, but I have my notes and I can, share screenshots to kind of show that these are the things that the Lord spoke to me about this year, the very beginning of this year. Anyway, one of the things that the Lord shared with me was, he said, 1, pray for your leaders. And he said, 2, stay out of idle debates. God knows me. He had to tell me, Tasha, shut up. He had to tell me shut up in January. But I'm just now really finding out in June, July, why God said that. I have been studying Solomon, and I've been studying the concept of wisdom for quite some time. And so now Solomon and wisdom is just showing up everywhere, at church and groups and just Facebook, everywhere. I'm seeing wisdom everywhere. And I think the strange thing about Solomon is, even we know Solomon for the ways that he missed it, but we also need to focus on some of the ways where Solomon got it right and he knew what he was talking about. When it comes to wisdom, wisdom was a key factor that helped Solomon be successful. And he was one heck of a businessman. And at being an entrepreneur, I need to know what this entrepreneur knew to be one of the wealthiest men who ever lived and was the wealthiest man of his time. He says something in 1 Kings chapter 5 that helped me understand why God told me to stay out of idle debates and to mind my business this year. Solomon talks about how his father intended to build the house for the Lord, but because there was so much warfare surrounding his life, there was so much war, he couldn't do the things that he wanted to do for God. This should teach us a lesson. Everybody's warfare is not the same. You better have eyes to see before you comment on things. We think that because people have resources, because they have access, because maybe they have fame, because their father is this person, that life should flow a particular way. But a thief is going to have a better plan to try to take down the White House than a thief that's just trying to steal from somebody in Bankhead. I say all of this to say I have another video that goes deeper into this. We are supposed to judge. People don't like this. We are supposed to judge, but we are supposed to judge righteously, according to righteous judgment. Again, you want to see another look at Samuel. Samuel, the Lord has been speaking to Samuel all his life, okay? If the Lord is talking to you at 3 years old, like the Lord has been speaking to you all your life. But even Samuel missed it when it came to anointing the next king. He thought it was any one of Jesse's sons, but it was David. And God says, you look at the outer appearance, I look at the heart. So there was still judgment happening, but the criteria and the litmus test for which you should use to judge gotta be different from the world. From the world, it's strictly optics. It's strictly what it looks like. That's how we miss it. We have to key in so many other factors. There are a lot of things that are happening right now. I urge you to please be quiet. Even if you are discerning correctly, unless the Lord tells you otherwise, we're always going to listen to the Lord. You have to have eyes to see before you comment on some stuff. Y'all don't understand the warfare some of these people are under. A lot of the mess that you're hearing, some of these people, it's an attack on their ministry and their integrity, and they're innocent. Some of these people, they've had a fight in a battle. There's so many different reasons. This year is not black and white. And I'm a person who really struggles to not see life in black and white. I'm either good or bad, up, down. I'm very one or the other, because like when it comes to the spiritual realm, there's no such thing as like, you got to understand, blah, 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 blah. It's very black and white. But when it comes to life, sometimes I have to remind myself I got to give a little bit more grace, because I know that at all times we're dealing with both the natural and the spiritual at all times. With that being said, please refrain from comments before you put your mouth on some stuff that you really have no idea what you're talking about. To be continued.